Hello, I'm Morgan McCrory.
And I'm Ian Smith. This is Bicycling in Denton. On the show today, we'll be looking at how the influx of cyclists are affecting the local community and what you can do to become a more responsible cyclist.
The bicycling community in Denton has been growing by leaps and bounds in recent years. The city leaders have been adding bike lanes and installing bicycle parks around town, encouraging cyclists to ride their bikes through the local neighborhoods.
However, it is not everyone is encouraged by the expansion of bicycle-friendly areas in Denton. We talked to University of North Texas students about their feeling towards cyclists on campus and how they feel the situation can improve.
I think the people riding bicycles are idiots.
I feel like they're trying to push me out of the way a lot of times, and I feel like I have the right of way on the sidewalk.
They just stay in the middle of the street. They don't stay to the side. They don't get on the sidewalks. They think they have the right of way everywhere. It's just annoying.
I mean, I think it's part of the college experience. It's sometimes a little annoying when I'm trying to take my slow way to class and I'm getting whipped by on the side.
I've almost hit a biker or knocked him over because they've grazed me, and it really makes me mad.
They stay in the middle of the lane and they don't go to the side, and so you have to drive slow behind them.
Here in Denton, the bikes, they have the same rights as cars as far as staying in the middle of the lane, but I really find it inconvenient at times. When I'm trying to get somewhere and a bike is really just holding me up and I can't get around them, I get really annoyed.
See, cyclists seem to have a less than friendly reputation. The perception of the rude cyclist can be hard to shake, but some cyclists in Denton are making a conscious effort to improve their reputation in the community.
Morgan spoke with one of these local cyclists, Kelly Coleman, a student at the University of North Texas, about what she is doing to improve her interactions with pedestrians on campus and why she enjoys cycling.
Our guest today is Kelsey Coleman, a local student and bicycling enthusiast who also works with the Denton bicycling community to raise awareness for cyclists. Thanks for coming, Kelsey.
No problem.
So, Kelsey, why do you choose to ride a bike instead of driving a car or walking?
Well, compared to walking, it's a lot faster and it's better for you health-wise. And also, a lot of people have baskets on their bikes, and you can just put your bag in there and you don't have to worry about carrying it for a mile or so.
That's true. So how often do you ride your bike?
I ride it every day to school, and then sometimes on the weekends I might take it out.
Okay. So do you encounter any problems at all when you are riding your bike?
Yeah, I mean, there's the occasional, malfunction of this or that on the bike. And then you always have to be watching out for pedestrians and cars and making sure that, they're paying attention to you.
Of course. So what kind of safety gear do you wear in order for the cars can see you and all that kind of stuff?
I always wear my helmet, and then I have reflective tape on my bike, and then I also have a light on my bike for nighttime.
Okay. So other than the light and the reflective tape and stuff, do you have what kind of safety measures do you take when riding your bike? Other than that,
I'm always constantly aware of where I am, and in regards to other pedestrians and other cars. Mm-hmm. So I always have to be watching out for other people, and then, being in communication with those people also helps keep you safe.
Okay. So have you encountered any problems with yourself as a bicyclist and somebody in a vehicle or a pedestrian?
Well, you always have people, on their cell phones or on their iPods or talking on the phone while they're driving. So occasionally you might run into, trying to get around people or cars coming too close. So there's always that problem, but it's not too bad.
Okay. So what do you do to encourage people to ride bikes?
I like to tell them how easy it is to get started. It's financially safe, and then, you can exercise while doing it, and it's pretty cheap, and, it's easy to start.
Okay. So being a bicyclist in Denton, I know the bikers, they have a kind of community. So how is that community in Denton?
Oh, it's welcoming and nice.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. So is it expensive? If I wanted to become a bicyclist, is it expensive to get started?
No, it's pretty easy. There's a lot of people selling used bikes now, and so you can get one pretty easily.
Okay. Well, thanks for speaking with us today, Kelsey, and hopefully I'll see you on campus riding your bike.
Thank you.
Many more people in the Denton cyclist community are working at mending the reputation of the cyclist. While the government has been encouraging cycling, there are a few folks who feel that there are not clear-cut rules regarding cycling in Denton and in the state of Texas.
We went into the community to speak with one of these reformers, Joe Holland, a bicycle mechanic, about what he thinks should be done and how he feels about working with bikes every day.
I started working with bicycles pretty much when I was a kid. I pretty much grew up around it. As far as officially working as a mechanic, I've been working off and on for the last 5 years. Cyclists and pedestrian interaction, particularly on North Texas, because I mean you can't avoid it. Everybody has to get to class. The pedestrians aren't at fault, certainly not. There's nothing that they can do about it. If you see a cyclist, it's nice and it's courteous to go ahead and get out of the way. The cyclists definitely need some kind of, I don't know, a pamphlet or an orientation or something like that. There's simply not enough awareness. The cycling community in Denton is strong and growing. It's not Austin. It's still not where it needs to be. We still have a long way to go as far as the rider, pedestrian, and cyclist, driver, cyclist, and pedestrian interaction. There's not enough awareness, there's not enough information, there's not enough signs. I personally am against bike lanes simply because that's going to require there to be a follow-up law that removes cyclists from the road. If there's a bike lane, you must use it. And that makes sense to me, but I don't like it. I want to be treated like I'm, operating any other vehicle, and I want to be able to, use the road. If you're riding the bike, and that's the best thing you can do to a bike is ride it, keep it out of the shed, keep it out of the elements. Basic maintenance should probably cost you somewhere between $50 to $200 a year, and that depends entirely on how much you ride and how much you take care of the bike.
Though the laws for cycling may need mending in the future, it is important to keep yourself safe when cycling right now. Most people know they need to wear a helmet when cycling, but don't know basic bicycle maintenance. Failure to properly maintain your bike can have some severe consequences when you are riding.
Lindsay Krulige, an expert on bicycle safety, came in and gave us a demonstration on how to check your bike to make sure it is safe, and introduced us to a very interesting type of bicycle.
I'm here today with Lindsay, a local cyclist and member of the Greater Denton Cyclist Association, which works to spread information about cycling and improve the cycling conditions in Denton. Glad to have you here, Lindsay.
It's great to be here.
So you have a pretty interesting bike here. What exactly is it?
It's an unfoldable bike. It's becoming really popular in the commuter community. And it's really easy to just take apart and go and ride. It's also very great to put in the back of your seat or in the trunk, and you just get to the campus, take it apart, and you're on your way. I'll just show you how to unfold it real quick right now.
Cool.
First, you're going to unfold it in the middle. Excuse me. Lock it in place. And then I like to put the kickstand down so it stays balanced. Then you take up your handlebars, lock it in place right there. And lastly, you do your seat. You unlock it, pull it up to hip height, and then lock it back. And you're done.
Wow, okay, so that did look pretty easy. So now that we have the bike set up, what are some checks that we can go through to make sure that's all working order?
Well, you can go from front to back. I like to start with the brakes. You go halfway with them. You can check them back here, make sure they're working. And then you check your gears. Make sure they can go easily and then back easily. Next, you're going to check your tires. Make sure they have just the right pressure, not too much and not too little. Both tires. Then you're going to check your pedals. Make sure they're not damaged and that they can move freely. They can spin. The chain is next. Make sure it's nice and greased. If it's not greased, then you're going to have trouble riding with it. Okay. And make sure it's on the right gear that matches up here.
Okay.
Lastly, you're going to check your seat. You need to make sure it's at hip height because that's going to be proportional for you. And any accessories you may have, such as lights or reflectors, and you're good to go.
Okay, so is there any other like protective safety things that I might need to know before I start riding?
Well, always wear a helmet. It's very important. You might look a little bit silly, but better safe than sorry.
Of course, yeah.
If you're driving at night, riding at night, make sure that you have your lights on and your reflectors firmly positioned. And any reflective gear that you may have is good, a belt or a vest. It's nice that people can see you.
Okay, wow. So that was really interesting. But one last thing, how long have you been riding? Like, do you have one of these yet?
I don't have one of these. I wish I did, but I've been riding for about probably a good 6 years. I've been riding since I was a kid, and now I ride around the community a lot. I like to take the rides on, I think, Tuesday nights.
Okay, yeah,
go
I've
out.
heard about those. I might look into getting into them myself.
They're very fun.
Yeah, okay. Well, thanks so much for coming out here. I might have to get a bike of my own now.
Thanks for having me.
The cycling community in Denton continues to expand as more and more people see the bicycle as a viable alternative to the automobile. If gas prices continue to rise, cycling may become even more appealing.
Be safe when cycling, and thanks for watching.